football thing that's from the first 3 days. And I think if I'm a Texas football fan, this is really exciting. The 2023 recruiting class, they're not really playing around. Those dudes, there's like 14 of them that showed up early. And it feels, I think half of them are already on the 2 deep. Yes, there are circumstances involved in this that help create it. Injuries that have opened the door for some of these guys to get earlier playing time than maybe they would have expected. But Arch Manning, second string after a week. Johntay Cook, second string after a week. And the way people talk about him, I wonder how much he stays. I wonder if that's a kid that doesn't start getting some first team reps. CJ Baxter, same. Getting second team reps, but some ones as well. Peyton Kirkland is kind of out of nowhere the second team left tackle, and I don't know if he even has any competition. You've got guys at linebacker. Anthony Hill's an obvious one. Youth is being served for Texas football right now.
DeAndre Moore, by the way.
What's that?
DeAndre
Moore, exactly. Another one. It shows that I think the football team still needed talent to come in, that these guys are just skipping right almost to the front. But that they are means really good things for the future, because you kind of look at all of these guys and go, okay, well, if you pretty much acclimated and doing it from day one of the first set of practices you take as a true freshman, I feel pretty good about you're going to be okay and good enough. It also points to the importance of recruiting super blue chips. And I know you've heard me do this song and dance a lot, but Arch, super blue chip. CJ Baxter, super blue chip. Anthony Hill, super blue chip. Johntay Cook, super blue chip. Even someone like DeAndre Moore was like a borderline super blue chip, depending on the recruiting service. Like, this is why you recruit these badass football players, because more times than not, if there aren't injuries involved, if they're not knuckleheads, they end up proving statistically why they were rated the way they were. And this football team needs it. Like, this team needs Baxter and Moore and Kirkland and Cook and Hill. This year they're needed. And I just can't say enough about how impressed I am that so many young guys are coming into the team and just not even waiting a second before they're factors.
I mean, there's a couple of things, because you're 100% right. First and foremost, Catch, I feel like nowadays, for the most part, Catch, you tell me if you think I'm wrong, I feel like if you're a kid that shows up in the summer and for your freshman season, just don't expect to play. Like, you just that's not going to happen, because too many guys are showing up in January to get a head start, and these guys are showing up ready-made. Like, these guys look like they look the part. Like, Johntay Cook already looks the part. I think I told a story. I think it may have been in one of our war rooms, but I don't think I verbalized it here. I was at a practice. It must have been on Monday. And someone that comes up to me during the practice and they go, we expected Johntay Cook to come in at 175. He's at 184. And they were excited about that. Like, they were giddy about it. And they wanted to make a point to me to, like, that's how good this guy is. And look how impressed he is. The work that they put in just to get here. And then, like you said, you got guys coming in, Catch, not, who, CJ Baxter is getting, we've talked about Jaden Blue getting some run, but CJ Baxter's getting run, and Keelan Robinson isn't there. Jonathan Brooks isn't there. And, Coach Sarkisian's got enough talent when he doesn't really have to worry about the loyalty thing. He's going to just play his guys, and they've done a great job of not only identifying talent, but identifying talent that they can plug and play pretty quickly. I mean, again, back to Johntay. I mean, he's fielding punts, at this moment. So is A.D. Mitchell. So is Xavier Worthy. So is Johntay Moore. But think about catch the punt return, like a freshman. Like, you're going to let that guy in ball security and all the kind of things that usually go along with it. I think the staff has done a great job from a recruiting standpoint, identifying the talent standpoint. And, I feel like catch every guy, and I've said this before, and I feel like in all the years I've covered this team, I feel like a lot of the guys who have started have just been there because they didn't have anyone else better. Like, not because they were great players, it's because they didn't have anyone else better to put in there. And now I look at it and I'm like, oh, you got a lot of options. You got a lot of guys who who can play. And now it really becomes the Sarkisian thing has to be telling guys, hey, you may not play a lot, but look at a Roshan Johnson. Like, you almost got to sell it now in order for guys to kind of hang around because they do have that much talent.